Good morning, y'all. Gotta make sure I got everything in here. Good morning, everybody. Oh, hola, hola. Good morning, everybody. Oh, there go my eyeballs. Well, hey, stay. Don't move. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Ed Goody. Good morning, Alicia. Alexia. I'm gonna just call you E because I be messing up people's names. I really do, and I shouldn't because y'all been here forever. I'm sorry. It's a lot of y'all. Good morning, everybody. Did y'all have a good sleep and all of that good stuff? I got some good news. They finally came and fixed a nigga air. You know what I'm saying? It's chilly in here. Thank you, Jesus. Because that was like probably 3 months almost without. I mean, I had air conditioning, but it was a window unit for my whole apartment, and I hate sleeping with my doors open. I've been so uncomfortable, y'all. I hate sleeping with my doors open. I do not like sleeping with I done had to sleep with all my doors open to, and then close this door to keep the air funneling back to my room. It's been crazy. I said, oh, they came yesterday, and well, they came the day before when I was talking to y'all, and then they came back yesterday. And it's crazy because, again, everything happens for a reason, right? And the man that was here, he was like, I was literally just watching YouTube about Enoch, and it was crazy. He was like, I feel like we've been lied to our whole lives. I said, we have. We definitely have. Yeah, 100%. 100%. So my last set of yellow WOIU books are original OTPs. Yeah, they're gone. So I gotta start using my old copy. I'm cool with it. You know what I mean? If we can help somebody get to a point to where, like they searching for God, we gotta do it around here. So I'm happy that my hair is back. I do want to talk to y'all about a couple things. Um, and I think it's important that we do. If y'all open, are y'all open to some current events? Hey, good morning to everybody. And afternoon, if that's where you at. Hey, everybody. Okay, so quickly, and I asked y'all this, and I don't do it to be sarcastic or anything. I be wanting to prove a point, okay? So, a lot of people are up in the uproar about what's happening in Gary, Indiana, and in Indiana because it's like middle America. Do you take vitamins? We gotta take our vitamins and make sure we eat them right. You know, I took a vitamin the other day. I said, dang, I ain't been taking no vitamins. And that next morning, yesterday, I was able to get up and do everything I needed to do except for finish that laundry. Everything else, I said, wow, I ain't been able to. I gotta go back to taking my vitamins. Oh, okay, get you some vitamins, girl. I take a biotin and something, and it does help. It does. And then, too, disconnecting for a minute. We be overstimulated. And I got some movie homework for y'all. Some of y'all probably already seen it. Some of y'all probably already seen it. If you have, that's fine. If you haven't, You said I have family there and they are coming back to Louisiana. Interesting. Interesting. It's real, real crazy, right? I lived there for God knows how many years. Yeah, that's where I jumped off the porch. For real, for real. Anyway, regarding the things that are going on there, okay? Being without power for 8 days, not able to cook, being in the dark, okay? Butane stoves, right? People are talking about taking cold showers. How many of you have a portable bucket or a bucket? And not only that, you have that heating element that we bought that you can sit down in a plastic bucket, pour some water in there. I don't know. Um, pour some hot water in there, boiling hot water, because those heating elements that we bought a couple years ago, they'll get the water to basically boiling. How I know? Because somebody I know that I told to get one didn't have to use it. Right? And so then portable showers, right? You pour that down. It might not be a bath, but you can take a hot shower. Did we talk about those things? How many of you, excuse me, have that heating element thing that we bought a couple years ago? Portable shower. Baby, I don't care if you got to take a whole bath. You can have some hot water. Well, how you gonna do that with no power? Solar generator. Or the butane stove. You can boil water on there, pour it down in a bucket, put the little portable shower thing in there, and stand in the tub and do your business in hot water. You said you don't have the heating thing? You gotta get one. I don't know how much they are now. It was like two for $17 back then. I don't know how much they are now. And read the directions. Because if you put that bad boy down in a metal tub, read the directions. You said our power just mysteriously cut off and was off for a little while. You said, I'm grateful we listened and we got the items we needed. You said, yes, ma'am, I don't have it, but I did boil water on my butane stove. And we did have power last year. Come on. You said, or use the lava rocks. Yeah. You can't. You said you do have the portable stove, right? But you got to think. You trying not to heat up the house if it's already hot. Some of them people's houses was 80, 85 degrees, so they could take that butane stove outside to not heat up the house and put steam in the house, which is going to make it even hotter. Boil the water, put the buckets in, and then go hop in the shower and take the hot shower real quick. You know what I'm saying? That's why I was saying that. You know. Because if you use the certain, like the even with the stove, it's gonna heat the house up and it's already hot. Hey, you see what I mean? So that's why I was saying, you know, just for inside the house right now. If I know you said what's pocket size. There are some pocket sized ones, but we have the ones that everybody when they be cooking, but they don't be at home. Like when they go out to the park and they cook, we have those. We have the other ones too, but there's I just want to say thank you to every single person that anything that we've done, if you contributed to that to be able to help people, because y'all think about the things that we've sent out. Those are the things we sent out. Butane stoves, water straws, for other people in disaster and people probably didn't even think they was going to need them. Whole time. Give it a minute. And people are freaking out. And they're like, oh, we can't do this. But the warnings have been coming. You hear me? Danny. Can I tell them what you said? Somebody said, Danny said, well, somebody live in Arkansas. And they've been cutting the water off randomly. But when did we get our portent of that? Tell me what a portent is again. What's the definition of portent? Can you tell me? A warning, a divine warning. You said all of our phones stopped working in town last week. Can I show you something? Can I give you an example of the portent, which is one of the first words we learned here? My phone kept going in SOS mode yesterday, and I know my signal is great and bills paid. Baby, I'm not even getting my text messages and calls, honey. I was on the phone with my cousin. She sent the text while we're on the phone. Guess what? The text still hasn't showed up 2 days later. It's been 2 days. The text still hasn't showed up. No joke. Okay? Still ain't showed up. She said, nigga, still. We stayed on the phone another hour or so. I said, look. You see this? My last text was from my son at 2:27. It's 11 o'clock, nigga. We've been on the phone for 2-3 hours. It still ain't came through. And this is 2 days later, and it still ain't came through. My phone ain't been ringing. My phone doesn't work on my route to work anymore. It used to. Now I can't hold a call. Come on. You said, we heard, but we didn't know it was happening so fast. You said you didn't know it was happening so fast, Reva? You said portent, it means a sign, warning, or omen that a major event, usually something bad or tragic, is likely to happen in the future. They've been working on the water line in front of me and my neighbor's house for at least a month, girl. And you said, and we have been in a drought this summer. We got plenty of rain in the spring, but barely nothing this summer. You said that happened to me the other day. At 1 a.m., all the messages and notifications came in at once. I knew it was coming this quickly. I mean, you said you didn't, but I did. And the only reason I knew because my daddy gave me warnings and I believe him. Okay? But think about this. In 22, if you got here in 22, one of the first things that God told me to tell everybody to get was a way to filter and collect water. No? Filter and collect. Okay? And for over a year, I'm like, you need to. I know you don't, but listen. Okay? Look at this. In October or November of 23, Okay, hold on. Let's go back. In October of 22, the president bought a whole bunch of stuff to help you just in case your thyroid get attacked by some stuff. They started putting the straws and the emergency food in Sam's, in Costco, in Walgreens, in Walmart. Before the end of the year, those things showed up. And I know why. Remember, I told y'all, I said they pay attention to the buying trends. They know what's being sold. So when y'all came over here and started buying up all the survival stuff, y'all started seeing everywhere, because y'all the ones that told me, because I don't watch regular TV, that you were seeing disaster prepared videos, commercials online, your Facebook, and this and that. Every time you went on Google, all of a sudden there's these ads as soon as y'all in class or while y'all in class. You remember, Yvonne? For survival stuff. In 23, there started being survival disaster. Are you prepared? They started sending home letters with the kids from different states. Everybody was coming in here and telling me right or wrong. I'm just trying to show y'all something. You said, sis, my aunt, who was a minister, I did her hair the other day and told her how people are going down the rain. You said water. You said God gave us, and it blew her mind. You said going down the, huh? Oh, going down for the rainwater. Got it. And it blew her mind. You said, just left it right there, because she one of them. You said who didn't want to listen. Oh, and saying she was coming here. You said, oh, okay. Who didn't want to listen and saying she coming here. It's a, she the one that didn't want to listen and said she coming to your house when everything is going on, because now she realized that everything that you've been trying to tell her for the last 4.5 years was true. The minister. Girl. Then he said the audacity. Ooh. Good morning. I know my daughters thought I was crazy last year. Actually, all 4 of my kids, I yelled at this screen every single day. I keep telling my son to get a vest. He live in the desert. It don't matter. God keeps showing me some dark water around this nigga. And then in a couple months, he got hit and was pushed into a dark canal at 1 o'clock in the morning. And his car was pitch black and the water was pitch black. 17 to 20 feet deep, depending on where it was. And I showed y'all the picture, the whole back of his car. Okay? I've been telling my daughters. I bought my grandkids, my 3 oldest grandkids, because at the time it was only 3. The vest, remember? We went through that. And they was like, Mom. The city they live in is flooded right now, a year later. Okay? Flooded. The whole state is in a state of emergency right now. People are without power. They got these. People are taking cold showers. They got butane stoves and butane. 23, 22. It's some dry food in there too. It's some soup mix in there too. Did y'all hear everybody say they food is going bad? They're having barbecues every night to cook up the food because they don't want right. You see this? Riz, did you hear that somewhere that was going to happen? Anybody? Was there a portent about you don't want to put more of your food in the freezer? You need to go ahead and start canning and drying those things so when they hit your power, you don't lose several $1,000s worth of food. Was there a portent in 22 about that? Since 22, you said I didn't even know what a Mylar bag was until I came. Dehydrated foods too. So were there portents going forth in 22? Because I'm going to tell you how crazy it is. People started to steal my content. So even if you didn't get it from me, the people that were stealing my content, it came across your FYP, babe. Came across, they were stealing it and they was putting it on Instagram. They were stealing my content and they was putting it on Facebook. They were stealing they were stealing all of my stuff and saying word for word. So whether you got it from the horse's mouth directly or you got it from somebody that was stealing my content, God warned you. Not only that, unless you're only 7 years old, you lived through COVID. You saw people standing in line to get toilet paper. You saw the grocery stores empty. You saw it and you lived through it. Whether you were a teenager, whether you were a grown up, you lived through it. That was another portent. So to sit here and say, if I would have known, no, you should say, if I would have listened, because God is not the type of God that's not going to warn you about what's coming. You chose not to see. You cannot unsee with 2020, baby. Everybody was going through it in 2020. But instead of you all taking that time to sit and learn and to understand, you chose to go scheme, scam, take that money and try to live up your best life. And we talked about there was not going to be all of that flowing because we are in the tribulation. The first 3.5 years was gonna be good. Money was gonna be plentiful. Food was gonna be plentiful. Everything, everybody gonna be balling out, going to Dubai and stuff, tricking their money off. But the second 3.5 years was gonna be full of woes. You mean like the ones you hear right now? God gave the portent. Don't blow your money because a lot of people are not going to be working when this second 3.5 years happens. And what is happening right now? He told us that food was going to be. All of this came across in 22. There was portent after portent, warning after warning after warning after warning after warning after warning after warning, and people chose. You said loss of jobs, and you said lives in homestead. Listen, whether you heard it from me or it was somebody else online talking about it. Now, I'm not saying I'm the only person that God gave the revelation to, but it was a lot of people still in my contact. We gonna call a spade a spade. It is what it is. Because before I could even get it out of my class, they was word for word saying it in their live, and y'all the ones that told me this. So it ain't nothing that I went looking for. It found me. Okay, but the fact that everybody sitting up here like, well, God warned you. Because he's that kind of God. It ain't nobody that he didn't warn. Unless you a little kid, grown, if you was 15, 16, 17 during COVID, yeah, and now you 22, 23, baby, you saw it. Listen, it's a real thing. Do you hear me? You said your classes are popping up by many. Listen, because remember, folks didn't want to talk about it. And they said I was a false prophet and the people wasn't going to be here during this. Well, why is y'all still here? You didn't want to listen to the voice that wasn't comfortable. The one that actually made you open your eyes and look at what's happening. Because it didn't taste sweet to you. It did not feel tickly to your ears, so you didn't listen. But you can't be mad at nobody but yourself because the warning's been coming for sure since 2020. People like delusion. Niecy Pooh, all day long. I'm Ollie's bargain outlet. He said it has a food hydrator for $29 or $39. Y'all better go grab it. Thank you. Listen, every single funny class that they had, that we had, hold on. Who remembers me saying you need to get thick wood, a couple pieces, to at least cover the entrances of your house? Like, you know what I'm saying? Just get some spare wood. Make sure it's even if it ain't super thick or some type of wood, right? You said everybody in La La Land and everything is falling apart around them. Shaking my head. This part you said, or they said you was a fearmonger. Okay. Do you know what they're doing in Gary? It's dark. Ain't no street lights, babe. Huh? You can't see nothing. Did we talk about it? That you're not going to want to go outside when the chaos ensues. You need to have every single thing that you need in your house. You need to have a way to barricade your doors because it's going to be chaos as soon as a nigga know. It's been 4.5 years. The crazy thing is, Gary is not the first place that it happened. We saw it happen in Texas. Since then, when they were without power and without water, niggas was saying it was scary. This was just like last year or the year before. We saw it in South Carolina. When they didn't have no water and no power and no food and no diapers and no wipes and no nothing for their kids. What will it take for you to wake up and see that the world is not the way that it was before 2020, babe? What's it gonna take for a nigga to be knocking at your door? You better wake up. Oh, you gonna be out in the streets with the other crazy people? If you don't get your together, you need to be selling every high dollar purse you got. You ain't gonna be able to go nowhere. But what will be more important is that you can live as close to a normal life as possible without all of the amenities. You need to be learning how to make soap. You need to be learning how to make deodorant, a way to care for your teeth. You need to have those things in your home. You need to have a way to cook. Learn how to make some natural cleaning remedies because ain't nothing gonna be in the store, babe. Do you hear me? Get your life. You worried about Krishan and Blueface and this person? No, you need to be worried about your pantry, hun. That's what you need to be worried about. You need to be worried about, how do I make laundry soap when it ain't no more high dollar whatever. That's what you need to be worried about. You need to be worried about how many meals you can cook with what's in your pantry, babe. Not your freezer, because as you can see, everything in there is going to go away. What are you going to do? How long can you last? That's important. Okay? Okay, so you worried about the wrong things, Brene, right now? I'm going to tell you. I don't worry about if it's going to be enough. I just keep on getting it. I keep on trying to figure out a new way to do stuff. That'll keep you from moving, and that ain't going to help you. You don't know if it's ever going to be enough, but it's better to have. But I don't even think about if it ain't, because that's when the miracles come in. God can multiply whatever you want to do or whatever it could do. But if you ain't got enough for him to multiply, then, well then. You said, and we have been in training with that for 4 years. Puzzles, coloring books, learning, canning, dehydrating, making things from scratch and more. Come on. You said, right, 2 fish and 5 loaves. You got to have something for him to multiply now. Come on. Use what's already in your hands. And people don't want to hear it because it doesn't sound cute and whatever. Okay. You can't eat them purses. The shoes, the little trinkety things that, oh my God, unbox it with me. Unless it's a pack of meat, you ain't going to be able to do nothing with that. Come on. You said, and our kids know how to be quiet in the dark. Ooh, Nisi Poo. You said, I'm working on getting some good strong wood, 2 or 3 inch nails to screw the wood into the door frame if need be. Try 6 inch. 6. Because if you get 2 inch thick wood, you're going to need 6 inch nails. At least 5. Get 5. Don't get 2 or 3. Get 5. 5 or 6. And make sure you get ones that go in metal and wood, just in case. Like carpentry nails. Be careful what you type over here. Don't type that. Hold on. Wait a minute. Doctor of whatever. Don't type that on my live. No. Don't do that. Are you a bot? Because why are you typing in all caps and just saying stuff? Okay, well then don't ever type that in here. Don't do that. I know who the people gonna be coming to get because y'all don't know how to talk and not say it all out loud. That's weird. Right, but you need to be careful what you're typing online. Do you realize that remember I told y'all, and I'm not trying to offend you. It's a lot of people that if we had a camp, they wouldn't be able to come because they don't know how to say it. Baby, they being brought the people to us. Like you better learn another way. Everybody, we are in different time. That's scary to me, honey. You said, "Woo, baby, can't come with me." I mean, that's spooky, baby. Mm-mm. I can tell the people that really are people that ain't even visited the hood. You know what I'm saying? Because the way folks be running their mouths over here is scary. We is with the devil people, and y'all just say everything. You ain't trying to. That's spooky. Mm-mm. You ain't watching enough end time movies to know, I guess. You can't just say whatever. Speaking of which, I'm not gonna show y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all after. But I want you to listen to something. And we're gonna play a game. Do y'all wanna play a game with me? Julia? Good. Alright. Let's play a game. Are you ready? Do you have your listening ears on? You got your ears? Put an ear if you got your listening ears on, because this is a listening game, okay? Good job. Ooh. I'm sorry. In a minute, it's going to be a listening game. Well, you know what? We'll do that at the end. We'll do that one. Okay, here we go. She was killed in the first purge of the leader. No, I'm going to have to do that one. Dang it. Hold on. Ready? Here we go. I still remember Saturday morning cartoons, must-see TV, news fair and balanced. I also remember the First and Second Gulf Wars, the Second Great Depression, school shootings, and the music. It's the music I miss the most. There was freedom then. Freedom to do terrible things, but freedom all the same. You will find that such primitive emotions and ideas as jealousy, rage, sexual possessiveness, and monogamy have been eliminated. Your new implant has made you part of a collective whole known as the community. In the community, you are truly free to move among partners, male or female, as you choose. Your pleasure will be your guide. I had a girlfriend once. Shall we go on? We shall. She was killed in the first purge of the leader. Rumor has it that 80 million people died in one day. One day. That was just Shall we go on? Shall we go on?
Out the window. She was seeing something that I couldn't see. But as she passed, her face was truly peaceful, even in the midst of all her pain. Those whose old jobs are no longer necessary will receive new assignments for the good of the community. Information on how to do these new jobs will be downloaded into you via your implant. I remember my job before he came on the scene. Before all of this, I was a designer, engineer, and test driver for Chevrolet. I was part of the team that designed the engine for the last Corvette ever manufactured. That was only a few years ago, before the whole world went insane. Why should one only by seizing what we want, taking what is rightfully ours, and destroying those who get in our way, can mankind truly be fulfilled? Well, I'm with you there. What is that fulfillment? The deification of mankind itself. Each one of you can become God as I am God. Each one of you has my spirit in you through the holy implant. But you always lose me.
Through the holy implant. The movie's on Tubi. Baby, and I went to sleep. That's only the first 5 minutes. Oh, baby. I said, what in the world is this? It's called Six, the Mark Unleashed. The way I just bit the inside of my mouth. And with the AI telling you, though. Uh-huh, uh-huh. Ew. That movie came out in 2004. 12 years. Oh, excuse me, 20, was it 22 years ago? 22 years ago, excuse me. You say you can be an atheist and still see those red flags. Listen, excuse me, 22. Interesting. You said lady 22 years ago. What year y'all find me? Some of y'all? I said, ooh. Yep, 2004. 22. You said, I know what I'm watching tonight. Listen. And we didn't even get to the other stuff that I saw because I fell asleep with probably about 30 minutes and woke up about whatever and it was playing and I just turned it off and went to sleep. Well, I'm going to watch the rest of it today, but that was only the first like 4 or 5 minutes of that movie. I was a freshman in high school in 2004. Isn't that crazy? Does that sound like our news right now? Does it? So how did they know 22 years ago that everything that is happening right now with EM and people not working and getting a new job and getting it downloaded? How do they know? And that you would be free in the community to sleep with whoever you want to and it doesn't matter and interesting. And you can't. Okay? Who's so young? I'm not young. What are you talking about? I was reading somebody else's stuff. I'm almost 50. What are you talking about? That was somebody else's comment. It got what? My son is about to be 30 in a couple months. Focus. Continue the truth reminds me of the Lana Kane. Yeah. You said the gray looks like I dyed my hair. Hilarious. I did not. It is really gray. All my hair is gray now. I mean, except for these patches. Like at the root, yeah, nah, it's gone. I told you I'm letting it grow out. I'm over it. You said, oh my God, I saw this as a kid. I think I couldn't sleep for more nights. For some nights. You said I was in the fourth grade. If that movie is what I think it is, listen, it is what it is. Anyway, back to that. I wanted y'all to. You said that when I seen that movie in 2004, I had not read the book of Revelation yet or studied it, so I'm gonna rewatch it. Okay. I would like for y'all to. That's y'all homework. You knew with the movie Back to the Future. Okay. I want y'all to go watch it. Amen. There's a ton of movies, but this one is very specific to 2022. Not saying that the others are not. That's what we do here. We look into it, but again, that's the one I want y'all to go watch. If you can, please. With new eyes. You said it just the words they use like that. Listen, girl. Well, it's crazy, right? You said in 2004 I was 7, and that was the first time I read Revelations. You said I was so shook I couldn't sleep. I was scared and convinced I was going to be at the end of times, and I was right, girl. Me too. Listen, I told y'all what my ex-husband and one of my best friends said. They said, you're so macabre. I said, no, you just don't want to see it. Remember I told y'all I used to wake up, tap my ex-husband and be like, I had a dream. He'd be like, he starts saying, I don't want to hear it. So I wrote him down. He did not want to hear it because a lot of what's going on in the Middle East is in my notes from 2016, 2017, and 2018. 2019 as well. My dreams, right? So I'm watching my dreams happen on the news. And my partner at that time was not strong enough spiritually to absorb some of the information or some of the blows. I sometimes wonder if people just type to get attention. Somebody just came here and said, you do not have 300,000 followers. Blocked. But I do, and I have more than that, weirdo. What is wrong with you? Are you crazy? Are you mad or not? Lord Jesus. Girl, they be so crazy. What? Why are you even worried about how many followers I have? It's none of your business. Worry about how many you got, not how many I have. People are crazy, babe. Listen. Oh, God, blocked. I don't care. I will never know you. I don't care. You said just tell us you a hater without telling us. Girl, they be so crazy. They be so crazy. Listen. You said they need to worry about getting ready for dad. You want to come and stay. And you said and wonder how many. Listen, hey, Rika. Folks is so crazy. All right, moving on. So, Listen, people are weird. But that's the movie that I want y'all to watch. If you missed the name of the movie, you know where you can go find it. Y'all know I'm not about to repeat it 17 times. Um, and if you know there's a movie, that means you was around for something. So YouTube, you can go in there even while we live right now and grab it because I'll be seeing it 1,500 times. That's why we record. All right, moving on. Um, I'm sorry, I'm all in y'all business over there. Listen. So again, get your stuff, okay? If you have things that you are able to liquidate, you need to do it. Have you all seen what's going on with the stock market? Anybody? In the last 2 days? You need to pay attention. He said I was on Scribes, he said, and I found this Catalan Atlas, and it talks about Alexander and what you were saying, how he locked away these people. I thought it was interesting and wanted to share. I can't remember. I told you I can't remember where I read it, but I did read it. Hey, that's why I be trying to tell y'all, girl. I used to be reading everything I could get my hands on, and the pieces I don't be knowing what book I read it in or if I read it online. Yeah, because they was living with their cats and dogs and cows in the house, and they was full of disease and stuff. Okay, that's good, Lynn. It's great. Are you gonna take the money out and go get what you need, or are you just gonna have a whole bunch of money that you can't spend once the power go out? Because the ATMs and the gas pumps and stuff ain't gonna be working. So what you gonna do with it? Can you eat bitcoins? Can you drink them or use them to keep yourself warm? Oh, okay. All right. Good job. Oh, okay. I just be wanting to know. I be having questions for people. So, moving on. Y'all want to go Bitcoin baking? Y'all want to go on an adventure with me? We going back to the olden days. Do y'all? Now, we not going to read every bit of it because some of it is repetitive, but I know y'all have read it before. Most of y'all, some of y'all haven't. Love a field trip. Good. So, we going on a field trip to the Old Testament. And we are going to Leviticus 13. Okay? That's where we're going. That's the field trip. Leviticus 13. And we're going to be in the NIV version of the Bible. Okay? That's the field trip we're going on. Get your stuff. I don't know what you're going to need today. Don't come for me. Okay? You know what you need for your protection. Mrs. Frizzle. Come on in. We in here. Is you ready? I hope so. Yes, Tadera. You was in Leviticus 14. Interesting. What is wrong with you? What? Why is you scrunching up your face? Why is you scrunching up your face? Tell me. Why is she scrunching up her face? You just some face all scrunched up. You said exhaling. Yes. She said she is giving the disclaimer. What does that mean? Okay, we're moving on. I'm not even. You said you know why. Uh oh. You know, sometimes. Okay. You got your paper time and dated? Do you? You said try to slip it in there. uh, you said, let me go sit down now. Uh-oh. You said, I'm going to just pack all defense materials and have the ambulance on speed dial with extra juice boxes inside. Hilarious. Okay. All right. I see what's going on here. You said coming right in. You said coming in right on time for the. Hey, Sarah. Y'all are so crazy. Y'all so crazy. Quit scaring the fish. Quit scaring the fish. It's too loud on the creek. On the river. It's too loud. You're scaring the fish away. Okay? You're scaring them. They just saw your ripples and you vibrating the ground, walking real hard, stomping to your seat. You're scaring the fish. You said I'm over here pickling. You said, but this is hilarious. Listen, tickling, cause y'all scaring the fish. Okay? You're scaring them. All right? Now, on your paper, right? Skin, sin, sores. Skin, sin, sores. Skin, sin, sores. Okay? Across the top. Okay? Are you ready? My toes is in my shoes like this. Why are you saying ouch already, Auntie? Are you ready? Y'all don't want to do it? It's real quiet. I can feel it. Everybody rolling their eyes. Are y'all ready or not? Hey. Are y'all ready or not? I can feel the quietness. You said, can someone please tell me what time it is? You said, because the dog chewed my phone. It is 101, probably where you at. You said, I feel like this go hurt. You said, are you ready? I guess. No. Got my helmet. Hilarious. You said, I'm scared, but I'm ready. Oh. Okay. You said, I'm not ready because I know where this is going, especially with the sores. You said, I'm going to just start putting on bandages. I feel it too. Fear and trembling. You know what? Y'all going to stop. You said, seatbelt on tight. Lord, y'all are hilarious. And then you said the readiness. Okay, so look. Did you write that on the top of your paper? Skin, sin, sores. Yes. We're moving on. The Lord said to Moses and Aaron, when anyone has a swelling or a rash or a shiny spot on their skin, that may be a defiling skin disease. Can you tell me the definition of the word defiling? And then, can you give me the definition of skin and then disease? Not a skin disease. I want them separately. So, defiling, one word, skin, one word, and disease for the last, please. Hey, you said defiling is the action of making something dirty, impure, or no longer pure. Interesting. Interesting. Thank you, Sarah. What we got for skin and then disease. You said skin, the external covering or integument. Is that right? Integument of an animal of the animal body, especially when soft and flexible. Which one is that? One love. I don't know. Is that defile? Okay, treating a holy or sacred place with disrespect. Okay, thank you. What we got? What we got for disease? A disease is an abnormal condition that stops the body or mind from working normally. Interesting. Interesting. So listen to this. A defiling skin disease, by definition, is the action of making something dirty, impure, or no longer pure. Okay? And the skin is the external covering of your body, right? Hold on. And disease is a condition of the living, or wait a minute, hold on. Oh, over here. Hold on, Nisi Poo. I'm just gonna use this one. A condition of the living or animal or plant body or of one of its parts. Oh, okay. That impairs normal function. I'm sorry. And is typically manifested by distinguishing signs and symptoms, sickness, or maladies. A disease is an abnormal condition that stops the body or mind from working normally. Okay. Do y'all need, I need y'all to write those definitions down, all three. Whichever ones you got, I need you to, I'm gonna give y'all time. Thank you, Pumpkin, too. I was trying to make it quick, but evidently not. We're gonna go ahead. Write those down. I'll give y'all time to do that. The definitions to all three of those words. This is a better one for my skin. Integumentary covering, you said casing outer coating or surface layer. You said as an investing membrane, the rind of a peel or fruit or film on liquids. Interesting. But they all right there. I was getting the short ones, but write down what you got. It's a reason for it. Y'all got y'all stuff? Baby. Amani, so go to YouTube and watch so that way you can rewind what you missed. It'll just be easier. Because if you gonna keep coming in and out, just get on YouTube. That way you can rewind it real quick for whatever you missed. Congratulations on going to cosmetology school. Are you in theory? Look, look at me being nosy. Is you in theory in class while you in class? Is that what y'all doing over there? What chapter you in? I know they don't use My Lady no more. They use something else in school. We used My Lady. But they had, what was the other pivot point? Do they still use that or is it something else now? Those of you in cosmetology school, is it pivot point or is that way gone? I was in school 20 some years ago. Hilarious. Y'all use pivot point. Okay. I just wanted to see. Yeah, I had both, girl. I went to a school that only did my lady, but I bought my pivot point books on my own. I had two sets. Because what wasn't in one was going to be in the other one. You hear me? Or a different way to cut or a different way to do your haircut. All right. Okay. Hilarious. Auntie done had so many different jobs and schools and stuff. It's crazy. All right. Y'all need a couple more minutes. I'm going to run to the restroom anyway. You had my lady too? Girl, ain't that crazy? Yeah, we old, girl. They might not even use my lady no more. Is that integumentary? I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to look that word up. I'll be right back. So y'all get y'all definitions wrote down. Please. It feels so good. Okay. I looked it up, Pumpkin. Thank you. A natural covering as a skin, shell, or rind. Okay. I appreciate you for looking it up for your TT. Okay. So, here we go. Do me a favor. Can you give me the definition for rash and swelling? I forgot to tell y'all that. Don't get on me. I had to look it up for myself, girl. And I'm sure, believe it or not, it's probably written down in here because I know that there's a couple different studies I did, but we gonna act like it's new today. We are gonna act like it's new today. Okay? Thank you, Antoinette, for my lip gloss. So, yeah, swelling and rash as well. the definition of swelling and what's the definition of rash? Even though we know, right? But it makes sense to look them up for where we're going. The word rash has three main meanings: a red or bumpy change on the skin, a sudden series of similar, often bad events, or adjective for acting too fast without thinking. Interesting. Interesting that it has so many meanings. Yes. You said rash is a red or bumpy change on an area or irritated red skin, swelling or bumpy caused by infection or touch a plant like poison ivy. You said swelling means, hold on, an abnormal. Swelling means abnormal. Okay. You said, why did my phone just switch to airplane mode? Yeah. Swelling is to grow larger, expand, increase in size, volume, number, or intensity. Okay. Okay. Y'all ready? Under those definitions, I need you to write down it spreads. Oh, got it. I got you, T. Under those, can you write it spreads quickly? Can you? Thank you. Thank you, Narita. You know that your name is a derivative of the Nereids, Narita? Did you know that? I wonder if Job is in your line somewhere, girl. Did you know? Yeah. Yeah. When I be seeing your name every time, I be like, they played. You like mermaids? You said this phone wasn't working. It's not on. You said, and it made it sound like it hung up. Girl, listen, y'all. It's the Pam. Remember the other day we was talking about Pams? Remember? It's the Pams. Because other people are looking up the Pams now. And everybody start looking up the Pams. And so then when everybody start looking up the Pams, because that's going to wake a whole bunch of people up. And they don't want people up. Okay? Do you understand? People peeking in here and they getting content together. So then other folks is going and searching. I'm trying to tell y'all what happens around here. Every single time that we talk about a specific thing, it has something to do with other stuff every single time. Do you hear me? Every time. It's because when you peel the scales off of people's eyes, they don't like that. For all of our lives, we all looked at the same Pam. And it seems like on the same day, all of us saw Pams differently. Listen, whatever you miss, you have to go to YouTube to get it. I'm not going to keep repeating it. I don't know if you heard me say that, and I know this keeps happening. Whatever you miss, this is why I say it's probably better that you watch on YouTube. That way, whatever you miss, you can rewind it, because that's one of my rules. I'm not going to keep repeating myself. I love y'all. But if you ask and somebody else asks, and plus I'm talking about something else, I love you. You said this is crazy because I don't talk on this phone. Listen. You said I got a Pam. It should be here today. Right, Kim? Love y'all. Okay. Back to what I was saying. It's because we talked about the pants. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Okay. So let's keep going. Here we go. Leviticus 13. Um The Lord said to Moses and Aaron, when anyone has a swelling or a rash or a shiny spot on their skin that may be a defiling skin disease. Would you call that a warning? Right? Or a call to pay attention to something that is changed in the body. Yes. It's like, hey, just pay attention. Okay? It says, they must be brought to Aaron the priest or to one of his sons who is a priest. The priest is to examine the sore on the skin. Can you tell me what a sore is? What is the definition for sore? It has a couple meanings. Crazy. What we got? An opening in the body which can lead to infection. Interesting. A painful, tender, or aching due to injury, overuse, or infection. You said I needed to hear this. Well, come on in, Moon Sugar Sparkle Butt. You said sore. Primarily means a body part that hurts, feels tender, or is raw from an injury, overuse, or infection. Interesting. Interesting. Skin, sin, disease. Skin, sin, disease. Okay? Did it say take your person or take this person to the doctor? Back then, I told y'all we was going back in the Old Testament. We was going on a field trip. You took the person with the skin disease to the pastor, to the priest, to the minister, to the bishop, to the diocese. Could that be? Because when you are under demonic oppression, your body starts to show signs. When you are under demonic possession, your body starts to show signs. If demons are connected with sickness, and if we fast forward, if we fast forward to the New Testament, there were sick people. They had things going on in their body with their skin, with their mind, with their legs, with their arms, with all their eyes, okay? And the first thing God said to them is, one, do you believe you can be healed? A lot of times. Two, your sins be forgiven thee, and then you can be healed. Skin, sin, disease. Could it be sometimes that skin diseases are a representation not only of the physical body, but also of the spiritual body? Because everything starts in the spirit first. And a lot of times we are able to hide nasty thoughts. evil thoughts, murderous thoughts, thieving thoughts. Well, those thoughts create enzymes in your body that are not supposed to be there. So then immediately the immune system that God has given you starts to set up a barrier, a protection barrier, so that this infection cannot go from your mind to the rest of your body. So could it be that when in the old days they took the person to the pastor, to the minister first, that represents you need to go and get yourself together first. So let's see. The priest is to examine the sore on the skin, and if the hair in the sore has turned white, lost its color. Interesting. And the sore appears to be more than skin deep, it is a defiling skin disease. He said, if this ain't something that's just, if this is deep rooted in your whole being, in your fiber, well, hold on now, you're sick. Hatred, envy, lust. Okay? Because it creates something in your body. Hatred can create a stroke, a heart attack. Lust can create, hold on, and all of these things happen in your skin. The body starts to exhibit the physical sickness prior to it showing up on the outside. You mean like spiritually, you thinking for so long until you act on it, and then we know you sin sick. God know we sin sick because you start to see it in their face. Their actions start to change, the way that they speak. So then there's something abnormal. And if you try to talk to them about it, they act like you touched a sore and they don't want to talk. See, don't touch me right there, it hurts. No, spiritually, I won't be touched there. I don't want that healed. Leave it alone. Let it fester. Let it spread. I like it being sick right there. I like that sore. I'm used to the pain. I'm used to the infection in my spirit staying there and starting to leak over into my skin and my tissues and into my ligaments. And now it's in my bloodstream. So the infection isn't just in my arm anymore. It has now spread to the rest of the body. This is why gossiping in a community or allowing people to gang up on one person creates sores in the body of Christ. You said they actually be picking a scab. You're right. I need this to bleed again. I need it to get infected. There's people that literally go sit with sick people so that they can be sick. This is a whole mental disorder. Gossiping at your job, sores, skin disease, because it's going to spread from cubicle to cubicle. You mean like cuticle to cuticle, or skin cell to skin cell? If somebody touched the door and don't wash their hands and they got some kind of infectious disease, that sickness will lay on the surface of whatever it is that they touched until somebody cleans it. You mean like you? I wouldn't talk to them if I were you. I wouldn't deal with them if I were you. I wouldn't. Come on, Miss Perez. So if we are all one body, what sores are you? You said judging. Come on. This the body of Christ, y'all say. What part of the sickness or skin disease are you adding to the body of Christ? Because you won't clean yourself. because you won't address the sore spots. You won't address the infected parts of your spirit. You will not address the things that keep you bound and in pain and not wanting to get out the bed. You won't address it. And we all done been there, don't get me wrong. But what sores are you adding? Because now you're not healed enough, okay, to keep moving. So it's a limp. It's a, sis, don't stand too close to me because I'm still infected. Instead of going and getting the medicine to get it healed. I don't think there's a coincidence in them taking the sick person first to the minister before the doctor, because it might be a spiritual sickness. Remember, we went through what happens in the changes in enzymes and the chemical changes in your body when you're angry, when you're happy, when you're sad. Remember this. We went through laughter, cleans your spleen, which is the antibodies and all of these different things, and it goes through your blood and cleans your spinal fluid. Remember, we looked into this. So I don't think that it is a coincidence that when they were talking about being physically and spiritually clean before you go into the presence of God, that they took them to the minister first. You said, woo child, staggering and spiritual sickness. Listen. Okay, come on. It says, when the priest examines that person, he shall pronounce them ceremonially unclean. Interesting. It's something going on with you. So you can't be around everybody else until we figure out what's going on with you. If you are in a season of isolation, might be something going on that just in this moment, this is why you have to purge it out. Come on. Look here. It says, if the shiny spot on the skin is white, but does not appear to be more than skin deep, and the hair is not turned white, the priest is to isolate the affected person for 7 days. All right. You said this reminds me of when we had a gathering in one of my, okay, hold on, why don't let me, this reminds me of when we had a family gathering and one of my cousins was, why won't ever let me see your whole thing? Sick, and all hell broke loose. Interesting. Like Christ told Mary she had to clean herself to be in his presence. The stitch of sin was on her, right? Right. You said yes, I just hollered. So listen. Okay? You said I'm coming out of that season of isolation because I was no good to myself or anybody. The isolation brought me to my knees because I saw every blessing falling away. Listen. 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 But it's needed, because even God in the flesh isolated himself to understand, to hear more clear. Do you hear me? You several times, this is why God sent Moses out into the wilderness. And it's not saying that you're completely alone, but you just might not be around what you've been around. You said, I'm still in my season of isolation. Did you learn in it? Because some people just get real angry. Did you grow in your season of isolation? Were you cured of some things in your season of isolation? What seeds were planted and how did they grow? Okay? Growth always gonna feel uncomfortable. You grew out of that old skin. You shed some old skin like the snakes and the other big, like, kind of like how the elk, once they what's the name, grow, they gotta shed those antlers and they grow new ones. I'm sure that's not an easy task. It's probably like teething. We don't know if they got a headache all the time or not when them things is growing in. We have no idea. Okay. Listen, you said, yes, I'm learning so much about me and it hurts, but I know it's necessary. Listen, you said I'm in isolation, getting closer to dad, being more bold and willing to lose people dad takes away from me. No more idols in my life. Listen, it's a real thing. And y'all see where I'll be at the house trying to understand. Way before I met y'all, just so y'all know, this ain't just y'all just in the class with me. Now y'all in my studies with me, but literally. Literally. And it's been 4.5 years of, you said I just got my ankles into heaven. You said, and now I'm back at the gate. Listen. Well, let's keep going. It's a real thing. It's uncomfortable to be in this space. But look at how the world is having to get uncomfortable. But we've been having to be uncomfortable. Dealing with reality. Huh? Because when God finally opened your eyes up to everything that's around you, everything, you be like, it's very lonely. Very uncomfortable. Interesting. Don't it look like the world is just so happy and they having fun and they just living it up and clueless? Hmm? We literally talked about not being aware. You said feel like Neo. Listen, it's wild. Is that from what you call it? What's that movie? The Matrix. Is that? Y'all know I ain't really watched it all the way. Maybe I should go. I sometimes don't. Okay. I don't know about this much. You said the world don't feel and look the same to me. Interesting. You said I just talked about this with my mom right before you came on. Listen, you said the narrow road to heaven is lonely. He said it would be, telling her it's lonely, but I'm not really alone. That part. Y'all see, we basically have to write letters like Paul and them did. It's just comments and emails. We're literally doing the same thing that the modern day disciples used to do. I mean, the old time. We like the modern day. We know where each other is, but we get testimonies, we get prayer. We right here. The only way I know what you're saying is because you typing. Well, technically, that's writing back in the old days. You said I'm in isolation from certain family members. I'm learning that we were hindrance to each other. You said laugh out loud, the Y2K version. This part in real life. Mm-hmm. Here we go. All right. If the shiny spot on the skin is white but does not appear to be more than skin deep and the hair is not turned white, the priest is to isolate the affected person for 7 days. Let me ask you a question. When you start to feel not yourself, do you put yourself on the 7 day? I'ma just not really be on the phone and do a lot. I'ma just try to stay in my studies before I respond to the answer or what somebody said or did, address it. Do you give yourself a few days to try to just be quiet and be like, God, how do you want me to handle this? Or do you immediately handle it yourself? Yep, what? You try to now. You said, I give it time now and consult dad. Okay. I'll stop talking to people for years. We know, girl. We know. But did you ask dad if that's what you're supposed to do? You said, if I'm honest, I'll try to handle it myself. Uh-oh. You said, I'll ask for help from him to help me with it. You handle it yourself. Sometimes I just don't respond. That part. Everything doesn't need a response. Uh-oh. Come on now. All right. I see y'all. You said, I take time to sit after prayer and word every time, or sometimes, or most of the time. Now, don't get on this platform fronting for the community. We real over here. You said, I usually don't take the misunderstanding where the misunderstanding. You said, I usually don't. I'll take the misunderstanding where the misunderstanding as a sign. Or, okay. You said, I get into bed and then I talk to dad about it. You said, I'm working on handling it. Handing it to God. You said, but I still be trying to argue with him a little bit. Girl. You said, I had to be quiet the other night. I was arguing with God. He said, you talking and elaborating on the word is discipleship. I said, because I'm not like Paul. I'm not that good. Girl. You said, I try to be quiet, but I'm still learning. He said, they didn't think they were enough either. Woo, he split my wig. Girl, listen. Amen. Because you are. Hello. You said, I always wanted to get the last say. You said, but now I know better. Uh-oh. And I just be like, peace be still. Recently, I was asked something, and I told the person I have to pray and talk to God, so I can't answer you right now. Good job. They're messing with my letters. I already know. I believe it. Okay. Okay, I'm proud of y'all. Who used to be a hothead when you first came here? You said, I try to handle it myself, knowing I need to sit myself down. You said, if I don't be quiet, I remember that brick that I feel on my head. Uh-oh. Anybody? When you first got here, that was not the case? You said, I learned to sit down somewhere, but it wasn't like that always. Why you make that face, girl? It's okay. We all would. I just want to see progress. You said heads and feet raised on the hot head. Oh, okay. You said it's some fences that I be straddling. That part. You said it fell on my head from a disobedience. Uh-oh. You said hot head was an understatement. Oh, my volume was turned up 1,000, and now it's turned down to 0. I asked God before, I move or do anything. You said I learned to quit going postal. Got it. You said I had to put myself in timeout. Interesting. You said, yes, I came a long way with my mouth. Okay. What made you change? You said I used to go get so mad I blacked out, girl. God. Oh, okay. Interesting. The love of God. You said, I realized it was affecting my health. I'd rather walk away now. You said, I see misery like company. I don't want to be over there with that. Ooh, that part. You said, understanding that I was the one getting myself in trouble with him. Second Baruch. I found out that I can't do it myself. You said, and trying to do it yourself was taking you in circles. God. Spending time with God. Real relationship. Ooh, changed it. God come back. He don't play with the back talk. Uh-oh. You said, I changed because I was making things worse by not listening. Interesting. You said, and I got tired of asking for repentance for the same thing over and over. Ooh, wee. You said, tooth fell out yesterday. You said, tooth fell yesterday, but still working on myself being woke. I was outside. Oh, no. Oh, yeah, you was talking real crazy. You was talking real crazy or thinking it. You said, I'm always a work in progress. We all are. We all are. Hold on, you said, why don't it be letting me see your whole thing? Honestly, once I learned how much God loves us, and I also figured out, I wonder why it does that to your thing, Queen. You said, found out where anger came from. I was like, man, I can't do this again. That part, building a real relationship with God. Okay. You said this is why I stay home. Girl, me too. You want to get me in trouble. I see what you want. You want to get me in trouble. Let me just not talk to nobody. It's fine. You said I'm surrounded. Oh, got it. You said the anger started to cause cost me my health, headaches, anxiety, and I got real bad chest pains. I keep it cool now. Uh-oh. Interesting. Interesting. So will you say that sin causes disease? Whether it be mental illness, sickness in your body, skin disorders. Huh? You can get so mad you can break out in hives. You can get so irritated that you will break out in hives. How does that make sense? The sickness is the symptom. Come on. You said really finding out what the fruits of the spirit are. The main one for me was self-control. Uh-oh. You said not Selena slanging Baruch like she on the corner in the 80s. Hilarious. You said that too. You said if I tell you, if I have to yell and get upset, my body hurts. Interesting. You think you did that on purpose? I used to get so mad, I would start shaking, and I felt hot, like literally I was burning up. Wonder if that is because more sulfur was being released into your blood or something, right? Because we got sulfur in our body. This we know. You said, I do, Queen. You said, listen. You said there were times I'd make myself so anxious I'd get migraines, and if I yell, my throat gets raw and I can't talk the next day. Interesting. How you hurt yourself? Quit hitting yourself. Quit hitting yourself. Why you keep hitting yourself? Quit hitting yourself. Why you keep hitting yourself? Why you keep slapping yourself? Why you keep slapping yourself? You said, TT, once I realized I had to put effort in focusing my eye to stay straight. Come on. You said, no, I don't have time to be mad at nobody. That part. Listen. Because if you keep on looking at people with mean eyes, you're going to need to use them right on. Gotcha. So crazy. Shall we get back? See? This ain't as bad as y'all thought it was going to be, was it? No. So quit scaring the fish away. Moving on. See? It's been light and easy. All right. Here we go. Oh. What? Oh, hold on. Okay. On the seventh day, the priest is to examine them, and if he sees that the sore is unchanged and has not spread in the skin, he is to isolate them for another 7 days. So the problem is still with you. Thank God it hasn't spread to the rest of the people in your house. So go back in your room for another 7 days. Don't be around nobody. Get your attitude in check. Don't be answering the phone when you know you are already irritated. Maybe don't even try to give advice while you're irritated because you might not be in the right spirit to give it. Because right now what's going on with you, it's not contagious just yet. It's just hurting you. No? Ain't that how mental issues be? It's really when you start to tell everybody about it is when it gets worse. Whether it be from them giving you advice that's bad, them saying, oh my God, what are you going to do? And you didn't feel like that at first. It was just with you at first. The bump was just on your skin. It ain't bust open and spread and you didn't touch nothing and infect nobody else. And God is like, hey, come back in here and talk to me. I know you feel like you, because normally 7 days after taking medicine, you feel better. That don't mean the infection is gone. do it. That's why you got to go back to the doctor and get it checked in about seven days to 2 weeks to see if the matter has changed. If it hasn't, then they have to change the antibiotic or the cream or whatever it is, because then what you did in those 7 days was not effective. So then why do we get mad when God don't change it in 24 hours? How long did you stay in the sin? Did you only stay in the sin for 24 hours? Did you only stay mad for 24 hours? Did you only stay lusting or being judgmental for 24 hours? Tell me. So you want a miracle cure even though you was happy with being sick? Wait a minute. Healing takes time. Yes, you can be miraculously healed, but how long did you avoid the problem? How long did you infect other people with your issues that you could have resolved, and the only reason that it was going like that and you were still sick is because you didn't get your way? You said, I just told my sister, my daughter, and my cousin what you just said yesterday. You said, this is for me. I'm dealing with this very thing right now. This rash is uncomfortable. Listen. It's crazy how much the body can tell us about our spiritual life. You said, I've had it since May and it wasn't getting better until last week. Interesting. You said incubation period before you are healed. You said still got to treat the wound. Got it. Listen. It's like having surgery to get something removed. Now you're even more susceptible to infection, right? Because the body is open. And there are things that are being exposed that normally are not exposed. And so then you have to take extra care to make sure that's in a sterile environment, like your soul. And I'm not saying, oh, I can't be around nobody. No. Because how else will you learn how to war in the spirit if you're not around certain people? I get it. But it needs to be a sterile environment spiritually. Okay? That's not saying there's no sickness in the air. It is. There's not one place where there's not a germ. I don't care how much they say it's a germ in there somewhere. Okay? You just don't need to have to always come in contact with it, is the deal. Sickness, sin, it's going to be around everywhere. But God can still keep you clean in sinful places. But you have to know the practices of ceremonially washing your spirit so that you can stay clean even in environments where sickness is abundant or sin is abundant. Okay? Because if that's the case, why you go to the hospital to get healed if it's already a whole bunch of sick people there? You will see the parking lot full. You don't say, oh my God, it's all that sickness in there, so I'm not going in there. No, you evidently see something's going around because it's a whole bunch of people and everybody is in there trying to get relief, right or wrong. Hospitals are full of disease. You know what else is full of diseases? Churches and communities and social media. The main sickness that's going on social media is mental illness. One of the next one, pride, deceit. These are all spiritual sicknesses that of the mind. Come on. You said for about 2 weeks, I kept getting devotionals related to purity. This is making sense for me now. Listen. sister. Gluttony, all of it. Girl, I seen some the other day. Jealousy too, all of them. I just gave a few, but y'all know. Isn't that crazy? Wow, right? And the things that you consume on social media can start to affect your body. And you can get sick. Even though you're not touching people physically. That's wild, right? Or no? What do you think? There are people that are being addicted to certain substances just because they can't handle what they interact with here. And it is causing them mental illness. People say something on here and it changes the way a person even dresses, talks, does their hair, eats, whatever else it is. You said he's running rapid in these last and evil times. Listen. Okay. All of them. Okay. Here we go. On the seventh day, the priest is to examine them again, and if the sore is faded and has not spread in the skin, the priest shall pronounce them clean. It's only a rash. They must wash their clothes, and they will be clean. So a rash is different from a skin disease. It's only a moment of irritation. It's only a moment of soreness or itchiness or, infection. Just a little bit. It's not something you're going to have to deal with for a long time. So why then? Uh-oh. I'm about to... Is that when you trying to throw stuff at me? Why then are you nursing this rash and keeping it alive? Tell me. And it could have been healed. It's not a disease. It ain't something that you're going to have to look at for the rest of your life. And we treat everyday situations like that. You said, really, Professor? That's what we on today? Uh-oh. Sorry. I told everybody to get their gear. I don't know what you was going to need today. Huh? It happened 4 years ago. Why is it still causing you pain right now? You said, I'll never throw anything at you. Oh, well, thank you. Huh? They did it 17 years ago. Why? You know how little kids, they come to you, they say, see my owie? It's been healed for 2 years. What? You see it? Oh, you hurt. You're lying. It don't hurt. Ow, ow, ow. Can you kiss it? No, because there's nothing wrong with you. It's a scar. It's healed up. Why are we still dealing with this? You don't care. I got an owie. It's been healed for 2 years. You gonna bring it up every time you don't get your way? You can't have a juice box, now you got an owie? You know how you see little kids do that? Oh, I got owie. They don't even match with how they limping, because it ain't real. Oh, okay. They want some tissue. They want to go play in the water. They want to get the tissue and have you just put the tissue. It ain't even bleeding. You see that it hurt. Adults do the same thing. You said, learning trouble doesn't last always really saved my life. You said that part. You said laugh aloud. That's exactly how they are, and we are too. You said, let it go. I learned that being here. You said, because the lingering was keeping me stagnant. Listen, a Band-Aid. Right. You want to be, ain't no, it's right there. You see how I got it out. No, you don't. You're fine. You just don't want to take a nap. You just don't want to address your real issues. You don't want to address that you're the problem. You don't want to address that you got caught. You can't go and hide, and now that you done got a whooping, you don't want to talk to nobody. No. You said better not show my 2-year-old a band-aid. She gonna need 12 of them. She gonna find stuff in right here, and right here, and right here, and right here. Girl, and we do God the same way. When he won't listen on one side, we'll start bringing up all the other stuff that we still heard about. That's been healed. You ain't even living in the situation no more. But now you want him to put a band-aid on that too. And ain't nothing wrong in that area. You just know that the last time you cried about it, you got some attention. So now you want him to. Y'all see that say your web page is not available? Now, why would it say that? And I ain't touched it. You said, ouch. You said, let me go back. Don't say that, girl. You know you can't type stuff like that. Not that part. But I got you. You said, oh, okay, this is where I moved to the corner. You said, oh, wow. You said, my. Uh-oh, ouch. Hello. Speaking from experience. Here we go. Y'all need a minute? I'm gonna go run to the restroom. You said, Taj, let me write with you. Come on. You know what? Listen, I'm gonna go run to the restroom. I'm gonna give y'all a minute to take a breather, get up, stretch your legs, because we're gonna do the second half of this, okay? Are you ready? Good job. Ready or not, it's coming. I'm just gonna say that. Ready or not? I get a question. Did anybody color their Jesus bag before we go forward? Am I the only one that's decided to decorate it? I already know I don't need both of these lights. It's daytime. And I think that'd be the issue. It's already light enough in here. It's too much. All right. Hey, Pumpkin. You said I'm not surprised about that information toy you said about to gear up right now. Where did the warning go? You said I miss getting my shield. I told y'all in the beginning. Uh I told y'all I'm not responsible. Let's go. I am not responsible. Moving on. Here we go. All right. So, the priest is to examine that person, and if the rash has spread in the skin, he shall pronounce them unclean. It is a defiling disease. Huh? Did I skip something? Wait a minute. Oh, yeah, no, I didn't. Okay. The priest is to examine, right, that person, and if the rash has spread in the skin, he shall pronounce them unclean, and it is a defiling skin disease. How many times has there been a spiritual sickness in your life and God brought it up again and you didn't want to deal with it? It's something that you thought was healed because you had taken time away from it. And then as soon as it comes up again, all those same emotions come. You react the same. And so then it shows that you're still spiritually sick in that area. You haven't healed. Even though you've been away. Even though you ain't talked to him. Even though. You said too many times, Bree. You said, like this class today is me. Sorry, Auntie. Could that be unforgiveness, CERCA? Check your thoughts right before you don't feel good. Sometimes, like Queen said, her body heats up. The same thing happens when you get inflammation. So when your mind becomes inflamed, your body becomes inflamed. Or a spot on your arm starts to hurt. The back of your knee, your ankle. Kidneys. Come on. You said anyone city experienced a TV broadcast station shut down for the past 3 days. They shut down local towers in the area so no one can watch the broadcast of television. Sorry to go off the subject, but this is weird.
looking at complex. Now, there's one thing there. There's one human being there.
No specific one. You in Rochester? All right. It says, when anyone has a defiling skin disease, they must be brought to the priest. The priest is to examine them, and if there is a white swelling in the skin that has turned their hair white, and if there is raw flesh in the swelling, it is a chronic skin disease, and the priest shall pronounce them unclean. He is not to isolate them because they're already unclean. You ain't gonna be able to hide it. There's no way that they can ceremonially wash you because it's no longer topical. Now, whatever the issue is, has spread into your flesh, deeper into your spirit. It has taken roots, and we gonna see what you sick with. If you don't address it early enough, it's gonna spread. Once it gets through the skin, it can then get into your bloodstream. So if we look at skin and spiritual covering and sin as disease, as soon as you start to feel a sore spot, you need to get to the priest, Jesus, the ultimate high priest. And you need to let him examine you. Sometimes when they go into, okay, prime example. I got bit by a brown recluse. Okay, excuse me. No, I did not get bit by a brown recluse. I was around somebody, they got bit by a brown recluse years before I met them. They gave me a backwards hug, like where I'm to my back to them, and where the spot was where they had got MRSA from the bite, it transferred to me. I got a bump, a small little pimple on my backside. Went to the doctor, and I had to have a literal pound of flesh taken out of my rear end. They would not let me leave the hospital, and they was coming in there with protective gear on, the yellow suits. They had a yellow thing hanging in front of my door. This was in 2008, January. Because the staff basically You said I've gotten bit a couple years on my finger, and luckily I got, because it can stay in your body for years, and the sores will just pop up, and they're like milky and white, like they start opening up, and then they get milky, and then the flesh be all crazy. Did you know this? Did you know? And very painful. It can stay in your blood for a long time. And anybody, so like just think, they can have a sore right here and it's under their clothes. But if that liquid seeps through onto your skin, that quick. If you share a damp towel or shirt, or you know how like your seats at work is cloth. You said, yes, I got it after a procedure from the hospital. Listen, and them sores, if they don't get to it in time, or depending on how your immune system is, they can pop up years and years and years later. Okay? So you would think what we reading is like, but this is still happening now. You said, yes, on top of that, eating away at your flesh. Had a co-worker who had a hole in her thigh the size of a quarter from the same type of spider bite, girl. And I didn't even get the spider bite. They got it. But the liquid from the spider bite, when they hugged me from behind, seeped through like boxer shorts or whatever it was. And I go to the hospital. They say, yeah, you can't leave. I said, what you mean I can't leave? It's a bump. No. She said, actually, you have to be quarantined. I said, what are you talking about? She said, that's MRSA. I said, I got spot, because I had brown recluse in my house, but it wasn't from that. It was from him. Okay? Simple. Right? I had to have major surgery. Then I told y'all, my friend had to come over and pack it like a bullet wound. Baby, I used to be in there with no medicine. Well, no, thank you. In real life. My first month of January of 2008 was spent in a hospital. On and off. Crazy. No joke. So what we're reading about, I've actually experienced. You said when I was 10, I had a spider bite and had to have my finger lance impact. Yep. You know. Say, ooh. Okay. So don't think I'm teaching this, and you know, from experience. You said this class got me sitting and thinking. You said I've had a couple of skin things too. Oh. Okay. So people like, what? I mean, what's the deal? You could, okay, no. Because certain fabrics hold bacteria. My sister had that when she was little, and it had to be packed on her leg. I'm trying to tell you. You said my mom was really watching you in her car. Hey, mama. She don't want to be bothered. Riley. She don't want to be bothered. So she gonna sit in there. Hilarious. Hey, mama. Real life. Okay, here we go. It says, if the disease breaks out all over their skin, and so far as the priest can see, it covers all the skin of the affected person from head to foot, the priest is to examine them, and if the disease has covered their whole body, he shall pronounce them clean. I'm currently fighting a kidney infection. This is eye-opening. Interesting. Well, I will be praying for you. You said I didn't have that, but I did have a season where I had random boils all over my body. Oh, we getting there. Come on. We getting there. It says, since it has turned all white, they are clean, which means scabbed over. Okay? So as long as you're not leaking and it is scabbing over and healing, you can be around people. It's not contagious anymore. Whatever the liquid or sin that was spilling out and rotting your spiritual life. So sometimes when you are in a season of isolation, God is trying to wait until the antibiotics of your trials, because that's what trials do, they clean you up. They go in and cut out the stuff that's causing you to be sick. No risk of spreading the infection. Come on. You said had something else, but I was scared when I realized. Okay. So once it's scabbed over and dry, you can go around people. Interesting. So if you still leaking lust, if you still leaking hatred, if you still leaking unforgiveness, if you still leaking whatever else, envy and deceit and judgmental attitude or whatever else it is, God might have you isolated for a while, because he don't need you to leak on nobody else. He don't need them to come in contact with those things that are still making you sick. Okay? Hey, auntie. Do you understand? You said made me think about boils in the spirit. It's inside out. Right. Right. You said this is good. I done missed some. Are you all right? Okay. Journaling is like a form of getting the infection out. Because as long as it stays in your mind, okay? As long as it stays in your mind, it can continue to make you sick. So it's just circling through your spiritual organs. And it is spreading. Because sin, you can equivalent, equals, to sin and cancer or disease are their equivalents. Cancer don't start out big. One cell, one lie, one time of cheating, one time of stealing, one time of covering up for somebody, one time of I wish or they don't need or they don't deserve. It just takes one time. And immediately envy starts to spread to all, or pride starts to spread from cell to cell to cell to cell until it eats away all of the good things that are in there. And the only thing left is the cancer of hatred, misery, cirrhosis. Okay? The cells become necrotic and they start to die off, like our spiritual life. When we won't deal with the issues that God keeps putting in our mind and putting in front of our face. You said confess your sins to Christ. You said and ask for forgiveness daily, washing ourselves physically. Yes. Hello. Y'all still here? You said faith without works is dead. You said you have to work on it. Okay. I feel like people are rolling their eyes. Right. It's real quiet. I can feel it. It's real quiet over there, y'all. Okay? Come here. Let me see. Breathe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Y'all know I don't know CPS. I mean CPS, CPR. I'm gonna bring y'all back. Come on. Breathe. Breathe, nigga. Right, you said ambulance. You said lay my head on the desk thinking about life. Okay. Y'all know I don't know CPR. Yep, y'all done flatline. I ain't heard or seen nothing. Hello, are you still alive over there? Hello. Come back, nigga. See, I meant CPR. I might have to call CPS because you ain't acting right. Hello. Yeah, I done told these folks I done abused y'all earlier today. I don't abuse nobody. Y'all okay? You said sacrifice is down. You said we fighting over here. Listen. I'm just saying. You said, I'm watching mama. You said just blow dry my hair. You alright? Hit me like a ton of bricks too. You said thank you. You just brought me back. You said because I was knocked out on the source of my hurt. You said me. And I never thought it's hurt me. Uh-oh. Here we go. It says since it has turned all white, they are clean. But whenever raw flesh appears on them, they will be unclean. What does that tell you? That because it's chronic, it's not going away. You mean like sin? It's always going to come back. God will heal you of lust, CERCA, and then the finest thing you done seen in a long time, super smart, super smell good, got all the things you like, gonna show up again. Oh, in a different form, whichever form you like it. Light, tall, dark, short, chunky, little, not chunky, slim build. You know what I'm saying? Athletic, locks, no locks, bald fade. Look like he might be mixed with a little Asian something. He got them real dark features like he from Sudan. Is that a muscle popping out of your shirt? You said I was thinking when you said journaling how I used to try to sugarcoat my feelings in the beginning of journaling, and Dad was correcting me to be honest about how I was really feeling. I told you don't get in there writing that fluffy stuff. You better tell the truth. It ain't like you don't already know. It's just you coming to the realization of what it is that you feel. He been knowed. He been waiting on you to recognize it. He said, and this is the reason why we had to work out our salvation every day, fighting and working out this part. The sickness is going to try to come back. Especially if it's something that you have been toiling with for a long time. What does chronic illness mean? What's the definition of chronic illness? Tell me. You said the finest, best things that look good. You could be the one. You said that's composing you and the toxic. Oh, this toxic to you, right? You said if you don't take care of it, Dad. Right, he have to do you like that. Listen, I understand. I got you. What is chronic? What's the definition for chronic illness? A chronic illness is a long-term health condition that lasts for 1 year or more. Oh. A long-term health condition that lasts for a year or longer. It requires ongoing medical care, limits daily activities, or both. Interesting. How many of you got a test that you've been going through longer than a year? How many of you got a test that you've been going through for more than 5 years? How many of you have a test that you have been going through for over a decade? And I'm not talking about physical illness. I'm talking about issues that you feel like you should be healed from. And every so often, honey, you have to manage that illness. thought I was over this. I thought I wouldn't fall for this no more. I thought I wouldn't put myself back in that situation. I thought I wouldn't respond anymore. Well, if sin is disease, and disease is illness, and there are some things that are chronic, which means a long time, lasting over a year, could that be why God gave us long suffering? Patience and endurance? Because he never said he was going to take it right away. He said, but I'm going to come and check on it, and we're going to keep an eye on it, make sure it ain't spreading nowhere, but I'm not going to take it away. Because I need you to understand how you even got sick. Because if I heal it right away, you going to go pick up something else. You going to go rub shoulders and body parts with other people. Hello? You're going to take your healing for granted. So maybe if I allow you, that part, Dusty, the thorn in the side, some stuff he don't hear right away. Your heartbreak, well, if you keep running and getting under people, maybe he don't heal this heartbreak as quickly. Maybe he'll wait and let you feel it a little bit, let you get tired of going to the doctor and taking out his medicine until you finally say, God, you know what? I don't want to be sick in this way anymore. I'm not going to give my number out. I'm not going to give my body to nobody I'm not married to. I'm not even going to give a person that time when you've already shown me the red flags. Here we go now. The inflamed things, the bump, which is the feeling that you're not telling me the truth about something. Uh-oh, there goes the infection starting. And now you snapping your neck back and why do I feel like this? I already feel like you're trying to mislead me. That's the infection starting. Because you didn't connect it with something that's about to make you sick. Mentally, emotionally, financially, physically, honey. Hello? Spiritually, all of it. Your joy starts to leave and anger starts to swell up in its place. You mean inflammation? When your body is fighting off infection, don't you normally get tired? You know how we know? Because when you're sick, that's when the antibodies and all the red blood cells and white blood cells is doing their thing. And so you just sleep. Get up to do the minimal bodily functions and you get back, you be fatigued. Oh. You said, woo, I needed this 30 years ago, girl, didn't we all? And it was right in front of our face, T. Right in front of our face. The chronic illness is the demons that are going to continue to come back as soon as your house is cleaned, as soon as your relationship with God is growing. And it could be friends, it could be family members, it could be fear, whatever it is. It's not going away. It's going to scab over, and then the devil is going to come and try to pick that scab again and make you feel, make it bleed, open it up so you can get some more infection in there. It's a thing. Demons are compared to illness and disease and sickness and underweight. Don't believe me? If you're sexually promiscuous and you don't protect yourself, an emotion got your body sick. An emotion gets you sores. An emotion gets you cankers. An emotion. Lust. I can't wait. I don't care if you clean. I want it right now. So an emotion, a thought, got your physical body sick. And now you can see the product of your thought on your genitals or in your mouth. I mean, lust is a thought. And it started in your spirit. But the moment that you went ahead and connected with the sin, and this ain't every time because God give you grace. Huh? It give you stress too. But we talking about physical. It's talking about the skin, auntie. And this, you said, okay. You said all that, dang, it's making sense weeks ago. You said I was committed to staying in my word every day, and all hell broke loose in every area in the past 2 weeks. Yep. Ain't that crazy how that happens? You said, yeah, you're so right. For some rashes, they prescribe psychotropic medication because the stress triggers certain rashes. Oh, okay. Hello. Back in the day, you used to have to go get a shot in your booty, and we called it the clap. Thoughts cause burning, inflammation, discharge, so you're leaking, and then you got to go get a shot. More pain in your muscle. No? Okay. Get trichomoniasis or trichomonas or whatever you call it, any of that stuff. There is going to be odor too. Inflammation, leakage, maybe sores, redness. It could be like all kinds of stuff can happen. And all of that can't hold your pee. Started from a thought. Did it not? A thought of sin. None of that would have happened if you wasn't thinking sinful. And what I mean by that is if you cheat on your spouse, if you go out, if you're being promiscuous, you giving your body to somebody, all of that started from a thought or a dream. Hello. Still in your mind, girl. That's what I'm saying here. So now your physical body is going through rashes, skin conditions, redness, irritation, heat, itchy, leaky, whatever, because of a thought. And if you are connecting with someone other than the person that went in on your sin with you can spread it to them just like we just read. It won't spread if it's only skin deep. And you can get it taken care of and get the antibiotics that need to be in that area for that time. If a herpes sore is bust open, if it's leaking, if there's redness, if there's swelling, hello. You said as to the reason why God said He's going to judge our thoughts first. Come on, isn't that crazy? All of this started with a thought. Heart attacks, thoughts, strokes, thoughts. It could be sad, happy, mad, whatever. Thoughts, your mind, the spirit, on the inside. You said, "Woo, this class is clarity." It's so many ways to my past experiences. Listen, y'all ready? Here we go. Do thieves normally try to get their friends to be a thief? Scammers not normally trying to get their friends to be scammers. Hoes normally try to get their friends to be hoes. Whoremongers try to get their friends to be whoremongers. Liars try to get their friends to become liars. Murderers try to get their friends to cover up a murder or be a part of it. Robbers and the like. So there's inflammation and sin. And if you sit next to a person long enough, if you be around them long enough, and you are not spiritually clean, then that spiritual sickness will affect you as well. It'll leak onto you and start inflammation in your life. There are people that do not cheat on their spouse, but they hang out with cheaters. And so then their spouse wonders, are you cheating as well? And it starts confusion and strife and chaos in a house where it don't need to be. Because if you wasn't hanging out with infected people, you might not. Or at least busting them out. It is very contagious. You said you want to see who someone is, look who they hang with. Hello. You said, can I repost this class because people need to hear? Yeah, you're fine. Bad company corrupts good manners. Just like if you touch somebody that is contagious or infected, you can too. Why is you sipping? What is you sipping that tea for, girl? Ain't it crazy? Now, the Bible talks a bit about being clothed in the spirit, right? Being washed clean. Uh-oh. Gotcha. You said parasites affect your thoughts and mood also, don't they? Somebody that don't want to give you the energy, but they want to take all your energy. Huh? When I address a problem with you, you don't want to address it. So you gonna keep on taking my energy while not trying to help me heal. That's why I'm divorced. Right there. Because my ex-husband mentally and spiritually was a parasite. Amen. Emotional vampires. Come on, you said my ex cheated all through our marriage, even while I was pregnant. As a result, my pH was off and I had constant issues. Luckily, I didn't get a disease, but I sure came close. Come on. Ain't that crazy? And this is why I used to tell people, no, you can not call me with your BS early in the morning. Wait till after 12 o'clock. You said, and the strategy of it all happens when you are most vulnerable. Come on. Remember I told you people used to call me early in the morning, starting with drama and trouble and craziness. Even my own mom, and I used to tell her, girl, I'm about to call you back. It is 4 o'clock in the morning. I do not want to hear about no drama at 4 o'clock. I just got up, just made me a coffee, about to get this good old meds in so I can get in my Bible study. And you want to, you're not about to affect my days like that. And now I'm going to be irritated from 4 o'clock in the morning till whenever I go to bed. No. You said you can smell the stench from cheating, drama, and also, girl. Misery, all of that. No, thank you. I don't want no parts of it. Mm-mm. This is why the Bible talks about keeping your spiritual garments clean. Okay? But some stuff, we're going to skip down here. Okay? Here we go. I'm sorry, y'all. Because I was reading it in two different versions. Here we go. All right. Can y'all go to 47? You said that's what I'm going through now. You said this is what I'm going through. This that I told you about. Interesting. But we working it out. We working it out. We ain't working out nothing. God is working it out, and we just waiting on the answers. Okay. I love y'all. We going through this together. Everybody got something, you know. Oh. Oh. Yeah. Amen. God got the victory over everything. He got the victory over everything. Yes, he got the victory over everything. You said it is, and it changed my life so many ways. You said, "Woo, God, a word." Okay, so 47. Y'all ready? And be praying with you, Nisi Poo. Yeah. Y'all ready? 47. It says, as for any fabric that is spoiled with a defiling mold, or any woolen or linen clothing, or any woven or knitted material of linen or wool, any leather or anything made of leather. So it's basically like, because I looked it up and they were saying leprous. It wasn't mold, right? It wasn't mold in the KJV. It was leprous. So anything that the liquid has set on and it started to like grow mold and it just didn't change color when you washed it, but it actually affected the material, the linen, the leather or whatever. It's a different way you had to handle it. You said, hey auntie, our family in India, okay, I know you checked on your girls. I'm guessing. Yeah, I'm guessing. Amen. I don't know. Hello. Here we go. All right. If the affected area in the fabric, the leather, the woven or knitted material, or any leather article is greenish or reddish, it is a defiling mold and must be shown to the priest. So, again, in the other version, it was saying if it's pus, if it's blood mixed in on the fabric of the person that has the skin disease, right? It needs to be taken to the priest. It's just like when they give us what you call it? Like a bandage. And when they go and they look at it after 7 days, if it's still pussing, if it's green, they can see and smell the infection, right? Or no? Right? If it's green, most times when they go to touch it, it's going to be sore too. Right? It's going to be red, swollen, inflamed, stinky. Sometimes there's green, yellow, and red. No? And heat. And, right? Right? Depending on how long the infection has been there. So now the priest knows what issues to address. Excuse me. So that means we're going to have to take a different approach into healing what is sin sick, right? Or no? Can't use the same thing we used to use with it, which is you not talking to that person no more, or them not being able to come to your house. It might be no contact at all, right? Because even you talking to them or being around them or seeing them could cause the infection to keep going. Huh? Can we use abuse? Okay. So, thank you. If a parent is being abused by their spouse, they can only hide it for so long. And then the abuse starts to spill over into the rest of the house. So now there are children living in fear. Children started to feel the feeling of hatred towards one parent. And they start to think things like, if I get old enough, when I get old enough, I'm going to cause more hurt in the family. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Huh? So the sickness is not just between the person that is the abuser anymore. It is spilled, and sometimes the other person that's not being abused starts to abuse the children. Right? Thank you. So the sin sickness of the abuser starts to infiltrate the abuse, and that person either becomes an abuser, because guess what? A lot of times, if you are being abused, you will push those you love away because you don't want them to see you. You don't want them to see you in that state. So then there's neglect, abandonment. What we see as protection sometimes can be the door opening for the sickness to flow into said situation with the kids. And now we've created spiritual sores for our children because we won't deal with this issue we need to deal with. We won't deal with the mental and emotional and physical abuse that is happening. And yes, it's a dangerous time, but that's what being in critical condition means. Touch or go. But if you go to God and you find the right medicines and the right antibiotics for the situation, he can get that person taken away where you don't even have to do it. You just can't be trying to get them back. Hello. You said facts takes the inner rage out of the takes the inner rage out on the kids because they can't do it to the abuser. Yes. Hello. Spiritual sickness. Men and women that haven't dealt with their issues and the internal hatred for self. Come on. You said, I'm going through domestic violence right now. This is for me. Listen, I pray that everything works out. Because I'm DV survivor right here, honey, more than one time. And I'm not just talking about from relationships. I'm talking about from family first. Hell, before I ever had to fight a nigga, I had to fight my mom. Get off of me! What is you doing, brothers and all? And everybody except for my mama I'm looking up to, huh? You said, yes, happened to me at 42, my first DV situation. Listen, all my life I done had to fight, girl. For the people that say they love me. But why is you trying to choke me then? Why are you done pulled a knife on me then? What? Why are you trying to run me over here with your car? I thought you, what is wrong with you? You said, cute Destiny Shout, I'm a survivor. Listen. Right? So, let's get to here. Here we go. All right. It says, it is a defiling mold and must be shown to the... Y'all, why do I keep saying... Wild. They do not want us to teach this, do they? All right. Is greenish or reddish. It is the defiling mold and must be shown to the priest. The priest is to examine the affected area and isolate the article for 7 days. Now it's not the person. It's anything that has come in contact with you. Oh. You said Kate's dad got loud and aggressive with me one day when Kate was about 1. And Kate crawled over and slapped spit from that man's mouth. I knew I didn't want my son growing up defending me like that from that man. Exactly. So the disease can come through a familiar spirit. Yes. But think about this now. First, the person had to be isolated so we could just see if it was there. Okay? Now that the sin is festering, huh? Anything that has come in contact with it has to be isolated. Everything got to be sterilized. So when the problem is small, you can treat it. But now, everything around you got to be power washed because you've come into contact and left sickness in every single place that you didn't be in because you won't heal. They got a story about you, how you hurt them. They got a story. They got a story. They got a story about how you cheated on them. They got a story about how you stole them. They got a story about how you lied on them. They got a story. They got a story. They got a story. They got. Hold on, everybody. It's not one situation where you left people better than you found them. So you just gonna make everybody sick. Got it. You said, dang, again, clarity on why that had me get rid of all my clothes and shoes because the connection with the people from my past. Uh-oh, girl. Man, furniture. I'm about to go make me some coffee. Ooh, a girl. Don't I know what dropping off? All right. Sorry, y'all. Y'all know I be up. Dang. Hold on. Sorry about that. You said, I had a father I had to heal from. I didn't want that to be case story. I was sick a long time. I couldn't bear spreading it to my son, girl. Just had a conversation with my son last night about parenting and this same issue. Just the opposite parent. But yeah, same thing, baby girl. One thing that Era's doing is working, honey. Okay, here we go. Um, the priest. The priest is to examine the affected area and isolate the article for 7 days. On the seventh day, he is to examine it. And if the mold is spread in the fabric, the woven and knitted material, or the leather, whatever it's used, it is a persistent, or the leather, whatever it's used, it is a persistent defiling mold. The article is unclean. Okay? He must burn the fabric, the woven or knitted material of wool or linen, or any leather article that has been spoiled because the defiling mold is persistent. The article must be burned. There are some situations you cannot go back to. I can use my own life in this scenario. The man that just unalived himself in January, or I'm sorry, in March, he was my sickness. And the first couple times when we were together, God separated us. The first time for like 2 weeks, then it was like 2 months, then it was 10 months, then we got back together, then he tried to unalive me. Then I didn't see him from 2012 until 2021 physically. Okay? But even in my marriage, he was a sickness because I didn't see him. But he would come back from time to time trying to get in contact with me. Okay? Which would open up a whole bunch of emotions that I thought I had already dealt with. When I got divorced, I saw him. We spent 3 days together, and I never, ever, ever, ever saw this man again, even though I lived in the same state with him. Because that situation would have made me sick. It would have made my children sick. And you see what he did. So right now, my children could be dealing with the grief, okay, of their parent not being here anymore. What pain would that have caused for my grandchildren and children? Because I kept wanting to go back to something that made me sick, that made me not be able to perform well, that kept me angry, that kept me irritated, that kept me in a state of teeter-totter and up and down, confusion, all this old stuff. Who would that have spent? First of all, I'm teaching my children how to have relationships. God let that situation burn completely out. He cut it completely off. There was no communication. The last 2 years of his life, God wouldn't even let me talk to him. Prior to that, it was you can respond to text. Prior to that, it was you can answer the call, you just can't see him. So there was a waiting period every single time to see if I was still going to be affected by the sickness. Well, when his mind had become completely infected with sin, murder, and suicide, God would not let, he wouldn't even let him around me. Did the sickness show up in 2009 and 10 and 11 and 12? Yes. Sure did. You know what's crazy? When I went through here and I was reading this, all I could think about is the burn on my leg. Because that burn happened while I was with him. It talked about if the skin got infected and this, that, and the other. Well, my burn got infected 3 or 4 days because they was never supposed to let me leave the burn unit. Because it needed to be debrided every day in a specific way. It needed to be cleaned with saline and oh, girl. And then, right, when they took the dressing off, it was hot. And they was like, oh, well, if we can't get this infection to go down, we might have to amputate your leg. Hold on. What? And not just my ankle. No. At my panty line. I wouldn't have even had a right leg. At all. Get this. I told y'all. Right before I got burned, God told me, do not give your body to this man again. Mind you, we were living together. Well, he had already tried to run me over with my car. We had already been fighting. He had already pulled a pistol on my brother. Okay? Several things that happened. You said I knew amputees and double amputees growing up, and that's no joke. Oh, okay. Guess what? I done told y'all this story a zillion times. Right after I got burned on my leg, of course, this is my dude, so grown-up moments are going to happen. He tried to kill me. Within a month. I got burned the 27th or something of November, 29th of November, and December 24th, he was strangling me. Okay? But the inflammation and the sickness was showing up in my body, in my burn. And I was getting ready to lose something that I could never get back. If you burn something up, it's destroyed. I couldn't even walk. I was going down the stairs like a little kid. Literally was giving my body to death itself. Giving over my body to death and murder. Because he ended up unaliving somebody and then unaliving himself. So I was giving my spirit over to be attached to the spirit of murder and suicide. Lust. Because this man had uncontrollable lust. Uncontrollable anger. And it started to seep into my life. The rage. The thinking of how I'm gonna get rid of you and get away with it. And I didn't have my moments, but I'm talking about whole time. Didn't realize what I was connecting with. I was connecting with a person that had suicidal thoughts all the time. I was connecting with a person that thought about unaliving people all the time. I was connecting with a person that didn't care about stealing from nobody, getting over, scheming. I was connecting with a person that did not care about lying straight to my face. You said burn, to undergo alteration or destruction by the action of fire or heat. Those burning passions, no matter what emotion they come from, often destroys lives. Come on, Dad. I don't know if something or someone is finna double back, but I ask for strength not to allow it back or just keep it away. If it's not your will for my life, girl. And now you see why I just be in here. Because I don't know if the spirit, because now that his physical body's gone, where's it at? No, don't check, no, I don't want no parts of it. And guess what, Niecy Poo? That started, I told y'all 2012, I was like, yeah, I'm done with all of this. Guess I'm about to try to be a nun or something. I don't know, because nigga had PTSD. Do you hear me? And still working on that. And he gone. But there's still some mental issues that I have to deal with. Again, chronic illness now. You know how I know? Because when that man Femi was in my house, he sat in this chair. He looked at me like I was crazy because I went in there and got my other chair and sat on the other side of this desk. He's like, you can sit right here. No, I can't. Chronic illness. I still don't want a man within 5 inches of me until he has been invited into this. I mean, 5, I said 5 inches, arm lengths away, 3 or 4, whatever. However many inches this arm is, 2 feet, whatever. You need to stay where my hands can be like this until you're invited into my space. What is that from? Chronically being abused by people, physically and in other ways, attacked. So that is something that I have to work on my mind. And it ain't just opposite sex. I done been attacked by my mama. Physically. Cousins, brothers. So it's something for me to have people in my, if I can do this right here, and baby, my skin starts to crawl. Do you hear me? Because I don't know if I can trust you. I don't know if you're going to try to grab me by my neck, swing butt. So you need to keep your space. I shouldn't have to think like that. But because of, and the abuse, that chronic mental illness will try to come back and say, you can't let nobody in your space. It was also for me not to hug nobody, not to touch people. Okay? So it's a trick of the enemy to keep me thinking that nobody is safe in my space. Okay? You said 3 of my exes tried to unalive me, each the same way. The spirit was trying to take me out. Yeah, it took me 3 times to learn my lesson. Oh, honey, I know. That ain't the first one. It was just the most traumatic. You said it's been over 3.5 years for me, and I'm okay with it because of the trauma. I don't trust it, honestly, that part. Oh, I'm healing already. Definitely. Oh, excuse me. I pushed past my fears. I told y'all that man, I hugged him, and the nigga sniffed my neck. I said, nope. And he ain't even a nigga. He Turkish and don't speak no English. I gave him a hug like this. Okay? Not like this. Like this. Right? He said, oh, no. Don't, your nose do not be, you can hug and your face don't even gotta be by my face. Like this. I hug like that all the time. And I take my head out to the opposite way of where that person's head is because I don't want my face nowhere near your neck or nothing, sir. Or, no. Girl, yes. You hear me? From here to here, too. I'm like, whoa. Turkey from Turkey, right. What you doing? I'm trying to be nice. I don't even touch people for real. I'm like, that mess, I said, okay. Listen, crazy. Okay? So I pushed past that, and I still give a person a hug. Is my body on the inside screaming? Yes. Yes. Yes, it do be. Sometimes my armpits, it's same thing. Girl, I didn't have this side hug. It don't matter. I do side hugs too. They still can squeeze your stomach, all of that old weird stuff. Or try to rub your stomach when they give you a side hug. You know? Uh uh. No, I don't trust them either. Nope. Listen, the church hug. Yeah, but sometimes that's worse. Cause think about it. If a person hug you from your side, especially a woman and a man that's taller than you, where they hand normally end up at? It ain't right here. Normally, a man's hand is right here when they hug you from the side. Even at church, they'll go under your arm and hug you. Very rarely do people hug you on the top of your arm. No, they don't. Hello. You said I was so glad I changed. You said he would have been one of my hoes in a country, in a different country in the area. Go, oh. You said nah. Church hugs are much worse, especially when they try to kiss your cheek. Come on. You said I got the chills. I don't want no one in my bubble. That part D. It's a real thing. Mm-mm. That's why I hug like this. How you doing? Right? Mm-mm. Your side don't need to be next to my side. No. Mm-mm. People be all warm too. No, stay over there. You said I'll shake your hand before I give you a hug. I'll be worried about that because people be picking their nose and digging in their booties. I just don't. Oh, Jesus. Y'all seen that one dude of the Department of War? He wiped his nose like this and then wiped it in his hair and said he ain't washed his hands in 10 years. I don't want to shake nobody hand. That mean for 10 years you don't wipe your tail, so that mean I wouldn't be eating a lobster, nothing next to you. I don't care how much you spend on it. Nasty. That stay ready so I don't have to get ready. Listen. Crazy. You said you wash your hands with alcohol. I don't see how you gonna wash your hands. Just this is maybe I don't like nothing. I don't know. Maybe that's a texture thing. Who knows? Thank you, classy lady. Listen, it's a real thing. So anyway, that being said, there are some things that it hurts you to your soul that you cannot connect with it anymore. No handshake, neither crabs are parasites, and if you can get them off the toilet seats, you can get them off their hands too. Oh yeah, because people be having hair on the back of their hands and on their arms and stuff. Not the itchy scratchies. You said I'm gonna keep my comment to myself because my dad might pop me. You said just know I made a face. Hilarious. Listen. Mm-mm. So that being said, right? You said my OCD coming through. Listen, these one things these hands is gonna is ashy, ashy, and I sometimes it don't even make no sense to put no lotion on because I'm gonna be washing my hands probably in 15 minutes, if less, sometimes less. So with that, let me say this: there are some things in your spiritual walk that are just going to take some separation, right? But there are some things you're going to have to look further into so that those things don't spread. It might take a little bit more time for it to heal. But there are going to be some things in your life you can't never touch it again. You can't never go around it. You can't even be in the vicinity of it, no contact. Because it will be detrimental to your health and maybe even to your spirit. Okay? Your children, your mama, your daddy, your cousin. Think about how many situations people have stayed in that were not good for them or even to them. Thank you, Kim. And what happened? It affected everybody. The loss was affected by everybody. You said this class brought tears. You said, and I'm grateful for it. I needed it so much. You're welcome, Jamila. You're welcome. You're welcome. We got a new movie I need y'all to watch. 6, The Mark Unleashed on Tubi. Okay? So that's our movie for this evening, for today, for whenever. Take notes. I have to finish it. I only watched about the first 20 or 30 minutes of it. Okay? Hurry up, for they be trying to play crazy. But yeah. So there are some things we be sad like, God, why you take that away? Because you didn't even know it was making you sick. And I can't even let you come in contact with it. This ain't a thing where you can stay away for a while and get strong. You just can't touch it at all. You can't go around it at all. You can't be there at all. You know? And it sucks because most times it's something that you learn to live with. The pain or the irritation or the whatever. But God don't even want you to be over there. What is it about? I love you too, B1. I appreciate y'all as well. Listen, we all going through it over here. And people want to act like they didn't made it. Nigga, it's hard out here for a pimp. When you trying to get the money for heaven. And the money for heaven is taking off all of this old stuff. The payment is crucifying your flesh. You said, dang, this the third time I done heard no contact. Uh-oh. Oh, hey, Kendra. Got it. Oh, okay. You hear me? Nigga, I'm trying to figure out how to get this money for my heavenly rent. You said hard AF. You hear me? And it's an obstacle and a trial. We trying to get, listen, the rent money is taking off this flesh, I'm trying to tell you. Not giving in to your worldly desires. That's the payment for the house. Hello? And sometimes the funds over here, they be going low. I've been trying to put it into my savings account, but woo, sometimes it seems like I go right through and blow it all. Got to start over from scratch. All my little heavenly savings I got, they just get kicked out. He said they act like they got it made, and I'm out here fighting for my salvation in my life. And so that part, listen, in real life, you have to literally unalive the flesh. Hello. And that is the hardest thing to kill off. Is your flesh, giving into your desires, giving into what make you feel good, giving into, well, I done already did it, so I might as well keep doing it. All that other stuff. Especially when you done got comfortable in your sickness. Comfortable in dysfunction. You said, I sacrificed everything, people, places, and things, and I'm starting over. You said, sis, the other day I was smiling so big to hear my daughter say she's been trying to control her thoughts. It's been a lot coming to her. You said, and she see the changes and the developing and generally been helping. Come on! Sometimes we be in a way. Sickness and sin. Come on. You said, and she's been in here, in her word. Thanks for everything. You're welcome. Girl, God doing his thing. This is why we got to get better. Because we be spreading the sickness to our babies that don't even know it. You said spiritual versus earthly. Everyday battle. That part. That's why when folks be like, oh, she's supposed to. I ain't supposed to be nothing but human every day, nigga. And striving. Don't look over here then. The heck? Nigga, from moment to moment. Sometimes from millisecond to millisecond. Nigga, you don't leave me alone. I'm trying. You don't know me. You don't even know what it took for me to be able to sit right here and not spaz out or go get what I want the way that I want it and how I want it, honey. You don't know. Come over here trying to say anything to me if you don't leave me alone. Especially when the devil be knocking at my door every time he gets the chance. And sit in the email, leave me alone. You said, I'm grateful God didn't make me, you said, get what? Oh, okay, I got you. I see what you're saying. You know what I mean? Maybe, honey, the devil don't fight you. He fights me. I'm his enemy. Mentally fit. Sometimes before I even get out of bed, he whispering in my ear some old crazy stuff. I got to get up and get in my word immediately. Leave me alone. It's the everyday fight, right? Especially when it's chronic sin running around this piece and it's being elevated, it's spreading everywhere. Hello. And make you frown your eyebrows. Like, if you don't leave me alone, I ain't living in that fake. I'm about to get on the boat. I already know I'm going home with Jesus. I don't know if he's gonna take me or not. I got faith that he will, but I'm not the judge. Can't put myself in heaven or else I wouldn't have to go in front of a judge. Hello. You said as to why people be saying Satan is for soldiers. Huh? Won't leave me alone. You said it's because we keep inviting him. Come on. You said admonish yourself daily is a thing. Yeah. You said talk to my adult children all the time. He is battling my adult. You said he's battling with what he sees. Told him to block those sites when he sees them. Come on. Eliminated at the source. That part. I pray he gonna take me in too. He might not. We don't know. Nobody don't know if they for sure going to heaven or not. You pray that you do. But if it was to already be able to get in there and keep going, nigga, there would be no need for us to get a judge. To be judgment day, where everything that you did was laid out in front of you. Stop it. Oh, I know I'm going to heaven. Oh, so you didn't talk to the Lord about it? You already secured your spot? Well, how do you know? I pray he lets me in. I have hope that he lets me in. Hello. If that weren't a thing, it wouldn't be people going to get to the door and say, God, I did. He said, go away from me. So I already know that that's not the case. Hello. Because the people that thought they was going evidently didn't get in. It says it in the word. Nigga, I don't know if he going to let me in. I pray he do. You said, well, every time I think I got a toe in heaven, he kicks me right back. Listen, you said you don't know how many times lately I have just say I won't give up because the enemy be in my head. Yeah, all the time trying to go against what God says. God's word says I am. And it's a daily battle every day. I ain't even got to have a house. I'm sleeping on the bench as long as girl, I'll take the grass. You know how like right before you get up to the house, like townhouses, they don't have a big yard. They just got that little piece. It said it's the perfect temperature. It don't get too hot, too cold. It's always perfect. So I sleep on the grass if you don't want me to have it. Like that little part before you go into the they be having like this much yard. You know, I done lived in plenty of townhouses. You have about that much grass right in the part, right in front, right there, because it's mostly concrete. As long as my feet ain't hanging off the edge, I'll be fine. Listen, you said Black God got me said I'll be where? I'll be like where? You said because HE double hockey sticks is a place God can send you to. Listen, you said this part. You said on MG, you said if I'm the janitor, thank you, Jesus, that part. You said I'm scared to see what's on my record when I stand before God. Keep asking for forgiveness so it could be not there. You said I'll sleep in the heavenly central part. Just let me through the gate. That part needs to put. I don't even care how I get in. Just let me in this time. Let me in here. What y'all doing in there? Is that a strawberry guava grape peach you're eating? And it tastes like there's sugar on it. I've never seen one of those. Can I taste it? No heavenly fruit. Listen, what you guys drinking is, what is that? Can I just, no? Oh. You said I prayed, I make it through the heavenly, me too, the heavenly gates, me too. Folks talking about they just know they going. Well, why did he say people was gonna get there and be like, Jesus is me, and he gonna be like, I don't know you, nigga, get away from my door, go. Wait, look, Jesus is me. He gonna be like, boo, I don't know you. Get him out of here, Jesus. But it's me. But Jesus, he said, I don't know them. He said, I'll be a groundkeeper at this point, Danny. Yeah, no, doesn't look like your name's on the list for the heavenly party. Did you RSVP? You said you did. Yeah, we didn't get it. And there's only enough for the people that RSVP. We don't got no extra seats. He ain't making no arrangements either. Because the moment you leave your body, he already know where you're going. And there's already a place set up in both places. He talks about the righteous man that live righteous and at the end he mess up. And he talks about the person that didn't live righteous and gets right at the end. So that has to let you know there's already a place being built for you somewhere. And he's not going to get it confused about where you're supposed to go. There will be no mistakes because your actions and your words and your thoughts are what built the house in either place. You either building bricks on the cool side or the hot side. You're either building a foundation on the cool side or the hot side. You are either choosing the layout of your heavenly abode or your one in hell. But either way, you're building the house that you'll live in for the rest of eternity. Don't get to the space and be mad because it don't look like what you thought it was going to look like because you built it. You picked it. You picked the land. You picked the space. You hear me? You said, and busting the church doors, didn't mean you was busting heaven doors either. She said it, not me, but I agree. Whatever place you go, you bought the ticket. Planned it out, too. Planned the trip. Everything comes full circle. It does. Okay. That part. You said, I'm trying everyday principalities are out to get me, and this is why you got to know what they look like. You said King Rufus' son told him he was building a mansion in hell. Come on, he sure did. Sure did. And the nails was about to be put in that bad boy. They was about to come do the walkthrough. He sure was about to come do the walkthrough, wasn't he? He said, me fixing to move again to protect my daughter's mess. Listen, it's a real thing, Dusty. It's a real thing. That's why I say, listen, it's your choice. God is not going to force you to live with him, but he is going to force some people to live away from him, no. I got you. You know? Because remember, it said you're going to be dragged off. That means by force. That means you don't get to stay. God bless you. You said I don't want no parts of that. Me either. At all. So, I love y'all. I'm going to let y'all go. I might see y'all later. I don't know. We got movie day, though. Okay? I'm going to finish watching that movie, too, because I haven't. Love you, too. The movie is on Tubi. It's called Six. The Mark released the number 6. Get your pen and paper out. Okay. Ote. Ote. Okay. Hi, hot tomato. You said I really enjoyed class. A lot of clarity. I love you, sis. I love you too. You're welcome, Lizette. I love y'all. I love y'all. So I'll probably come back. I don't know for sure. Maybe so. We'll see. It's already 2:30. We'll see. We'll see how the day goes.